aka Patters. What's up? Yeah, I hope I hope you like some of the newer ways we're doing this. But welcome to Monday Night Draw Unclawed. This is I don't know. I watch a lot of YouTube. I watch a lot of these live programs. The eclectic one here, by the way, the sketchbook world champion. I mean, no one does sketchbooks quite like Peter A. DeLuca. I do sketchbooks. They're like fully printed books, meaning cover to cover. It's all drawing. We're gonna be working on some sketchbook work tonight. But I watch a lot of YouTube. I do a lot of this stuff. And some of these other like YouTubers, they have I don't know, like kinda they're like fake cool because they kind of do their own Monday night draw and claw. Like, like it's like something something and sips. And they're like, no one's really drinking. No one's really trying to get lit. That's upsetting. That's very upsetting to me. But right here, right now, live, let's just blow this out. Let's split this screen. Right here, live. We're working on Theo. Theo is from Christy. Stick Freaks. Stick Freaks. She subscribed to the channel. I said, if you subscribe to the channel and show me a screenshot, I will draw your character. Now, we may not do a fully rendered piece here, like meaning pen and ink, but we're going to sketch out Theo, and Theo is clearly, right, like an anime inspired character. This character probably as a YA character will outsell anything that I create, but that's the world. That's the world we live in. That's a consumerism. People want this. They really don't even want 90s style, but I draw in the 90s style. We're gonna work on some of that. We got a lot of penciling. We got a lot. I mean, there's always a lot. There's always a lot. I've been working on my drawing live stamina. I would love to build it up to 2 fresh hours, and but then along the way too, we're also like building products. We're doing things. I think my shipping logistics should be hammered out. So their stuff should be going out very soon. I'm a little bit bottlenecked. Also going to be moving soon into a like like I say soon, but it's also like 50-50. It's 50-50 until it's done. Because you never know what can happen. But here, right here, cheers. We got the claw. We got the original grapefruit. And yeah, walked about 5 miles today. Did the 9 to 5. Did some good things today, so I'm very happy. Let's work on Theo. I didn't even clean. I didn't even clean off any of my lens here. How unprofessional of me. But yeah, so one of the reasons why we do these later Monday night draw and call sessions is just to, I don't know, see a little bit of who's up, who's out there, who's doing things, who wants to partay a little bit. And also, there's a lot of other streamers in my same category that kind of jump on that 8. And I don't think 8 o'clock is much. Is much. So I don't know. I think 11 o'clock could be my time frame. So we'll see. We'll see. Hopefully we'll get some people in here. Like it varies from week to week, but the idea is to be consistent, to get the practice in. I do believe drawing live makes you into it makes you more aware, makes you better, snappier. It takes away some of that reactive guesswork when you're live. So you know what? And I don't even like this pose. I don't like this pose for Theo. I mean, there's a lot of it too, where when I work on the character for the first time, I always feel like close-ups, like extreme close-ups, are my wheelhouse. Like super detailed, like that sort of thing. But let's just think about this, right? I mean, cat character, cat-ish character, annoying. Let's read Theo's. I didn't even read this. I should have read this. Bio. Theo is a super annoying hacker DJ cat boy. He likes dancing, parkour, messing with people. Valerie's best friend. You know, like it's nice work though. Yeah. And I don't knock the YA stuff. I fully like understand that the YA is the market. And you can kind of, I mean, I know manga has very adult themes. There's some manga that I really enjoy. But, you know, you can kind of make the argument that manga is mostly a YA, you know, YA like genre property. Mostly because it doesn't really capture a lot of the what you would consider to be the comic book going audience. But yeah, and these streams will kick up more and more as just some of my books, some of my products get you know, like we were rocking and rolling at one time. People seem to tune in when there is a something to buy, something to witness the development of. But we got those things coming, and a lot of it's just story. It's just, uh, you know, like sometimes when you work on something, you just have like impressions, and you gotta kind of go through the process of rounding out those impressions. Like, what exactly do they mean? What's really there? You know, like I don't believe in things like plot. I know there's always this like stupid thing about character versus plot. I don't know. I mean, most of like I was just watching Moneyball because that Moneyball is just one of those movies I constantly rewatch, just constantly have that movie going. And I don't know what the plot of that movie is outside of its just being like well crafted characters. And you know what, too? We also have uh, what I seem to be forever behind on. My Wildcat, son of a bitch. I have Wildcat to draw too. So, jeez. But yeah, so anyone that's out there that's watching this, if you know, like go subscribe to the channel because like YouTube seems to get a lot of replays. But if you're even watching this on Facebook, go to my YouTube, you know, just search AKA Pad and subscribe. Like, send me a screenshot because I can also see who like subscribes to, meaning like I can see who like the individual accounts. But whatever, like send me or let me know who you are. It doesn't really have to be a screenshot. You can just let me know who you are, and I'll draw your character live. I also thought it would be a little bit of a good challenge. And you have to find ways to challenge yourself. I don't care like what level artist like you're at. Like if you're not actively using social media to challenge yourself, you're really not going to grow. Or you're going to grow to a point and then you're just going to like just sputter out. Oh, hey, what's up? Hey, I wasn't expecting you. Yeah, hey, thanks for coming. Yeah, we're working on Theo right now. Like, look, let me go. Yeah, dude, he's a cool. Like, I really I'd like you here's what I like. Okay, cause like again, it's like let's just go full. Let's go full real quick. Okay, let's just do a little bit of an anatomy of like what I look for when it goes through like the AKA pad Peter filter. Lots of hair. So like this just sticks out to me. But then it's like we have these awesome buckles, and then it's just like the folds and the wrinkles and like the bagginess. Super cool. I mean, he has a tail. So look, I was 50-50 on doing like a close up or again like you bring the camera in or you pull the camera away, right? But I kind of was like, let's just kind of do a little bit of my wheelhouse. Like let's bring us closer to Theo, and then like we'll go a little bit nuts with like the hair. So this might be a multi sit down process because sometimes I don't know. Like I don't know how long something's going to take until it's done. Okay, like get a little bit more light. Seems dark. Is it dark? No, it's only dark because of my glasses. Yeah, for like I just think I usually do that myself too because you know what it is when I go through character design for myself, I try and envision movement. Like cause to me like the eye likes color, movement and shape. And I always try and kind of like add to some of that, like plus it out, like crank it up. I only kind of like my attitude too is I really only go for things that are like a little bit extreme, like a little bit over the top. And I like it when people kind of like tone it down where you can see a little bit of them holding back. And then like that's one of the reasons why I really enjoy drawing other people's characters so much. Cause I get excited to put like a little bit of that Peter aka Pad flair onto it. And if you do it enough, like you do kind of get a identity. Like you kind of know what your positioning is going to be before you actually draw something. And that's where it gets funny because it gets to the point where a lot of times like you think you're the only one that can like draw a character. And a lot of people too. Like part of being a creator is you're in your own lens. Like you're in your own world. You're so close to your work, and like you don't know sometimes. Like you don't know why something looks good. You don't know why something doesn't look good. And I always consider my style as like a ball of chaos. It's just like a hurricane coming in. But I'm going to keep his like nose. I'm going to keep a little bit of like the styling for sure because he is jovial. He like like it is kind of kind of like a cat. So we want to get some of these anime features going, and that's the fun of it. And my guys, like my time, you can kind of consider was point zero of anime just like hitting America. And but keep in mind too, I don't have a ton of experience with this style. So the proportions, like what the believable proportions would be, like believable within like the realm of it being fantasy, but like there's a feeling to the proportions, and that's I'm going to play with that, especially with the facial features. But that would be no different if you were like a hardcore still life artist, right? If you were like a portrait painter and you went into a Disney animation style, Like you would have a little bit of a culture shock. But yeah, like that's what the AKA Pad Army is all about. It's brick by brick. Like we're all in it together. Yeah, thank you, thank yeah. I mean, it's just kind of nuts, you know. Like I remember even back when I was in high school, like we there was almost like two fractions, and I was in the middle of both. There was almost like these like disciplined life artists, right? Like people who did still lives really well. You know, like the girl that could draw the apple perfectly. That was like also like valedictorian, right? So that was like one group, and then you had the people that just wanted to draw what they wanted to draw. Okay, and I was really in the middle because even in high school, I was more into the classic way. Like I wanted to read like any book I could get on drawing that wasn't about comic books or manga. Like I wanted to learn to draw from the very best, and I got very obsessive about it. And I just remember this one time where we had this like still life, and I was drawing this girl in like all these like pastels, and before like I kind of knew it, before I realized it, like a chunk of the class, especially this one chick I was like really into, they were just like watching me because I was just like picking up these random pastels and just throwing like color onto this giant piece of newsprint. And the one girl was like, "Do you even like think about it before you draw? Like, do you even think?" And I'm like, "Usually, I don't, you know." And even now, like, I try and capture and maintain like a lot of that spontaneity. So that's where like so when I say this is like a two-phase drawing, like phase one's going to be like the forms. Like I'm going to break out the forms with this, with the mechanical pencil here, and then like at another time, like I'll attack it with the crow quill, and that's where like with the crow quill, I'm remeasuring, realigning those forms. Like I'm really drawing it all over again. But if I have a general idea, I love that he's got these little like baby fangs. Yeah, I just think, and he's got this almost like almost like elvish. Well, it's like a cat mouth, isn't it? It's like designed. See, it's like so that's like so. Here we go. Look, I don't even know. Like I don't even care like where this is from. Like if it got ripped off or like whatever, it doesn't matter because like this form here, it's like the nozzle, right? The noodle, the face of a cat. What's this? What's this part called for a cat? I have a cat and I don't even know, and I should know. But anyway, this is really smart. So let's just kind of like maybe like crank that up a little, because again, we have to kind of go. We gotta go extreme. So one of my issues I've always had with a little bit of anime proportions is bringing it right down to the chin. Like I don't have the muscle memory or the instincts to mimic even like this. Like I would have to practice that. But again, like this is why we do these things. Like let's challenge ourselves. Let's get out of these comfort zones. Let's keep going. But yeah, like anyone out there, thank you for joining me. I'm always grateful for anyone that pops in at 11 o'clock. That's not a security guard, or that's not like a night watchman or a yeah someone that works in a Taco Bell till 2 o'clock in the morning. And some of it too is like, like of course my version is going to look a little bit more aggressive. It's going to look a little bit more uh nutty, I'll say. But we will definitely get these forms down though for sure. Yeah, and because it's anime or manga. I keep saying anime. It's manga. What we'll do though is we'll take advantage of the style, which is like, like I always like the shadowing for manga, like where it kind of it's on the nose, it's around the cheeks. So here's the funny thing too. Like I don't even know like who I would reference real quick to kind of like mimic, like even like mentally. And I really should have that. I mean, this kind of makes me want to start a manga sketchbook and just do all like manga characters and just get that down. Because I really feel like if you like don't understand the style, I think you're at a disadvantage of at making comic books today, like making comic books right now. Yeah, no. I mean, like, look, it's the challenge. I even like this. Like, I like his like the hoodie here. Like, and I like the fast style. A lot of people, I think, the quickness of digital, and I think the speed of drawing digital and the style of manga. I think that's skipping the generation. I think when a lot of the old heads see that, it's like they're hearing rock and roll for the first time, and I really think that's one of the divisions that are like out there. Yeah, yeah. Thank you. Yeah, it's all about process, right? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Round them up. We'll leave that there. I mean, no, but that's the fun of it. And I remember like when like I'm even going back a couple years. Like drawing particular things was stressful for me because I still like even like a lifetime of drawing, and I still didn't have a lot of confidence. I didn't have like a lot of my process down, like just mentally. So I just started. I had this idea where I was going to pick up some of my old sketchbooks before I kind of like permanently like I documented the pages, but filmed them, like threw them out. But I was like, let me fill up some of my sketchbooks, finish some of these drawings, and start live streaming on Instagram. So I've really been like hardcore live streaming for uh like some time now. I want to say like maybe 4 years. And even with Monday Night Draw and Claw, I have about I have to have almost 200 streams, like just collectively through all the accounts. And I just got approved for TikTok Live. So, like I'd rather kind of stream on TikTok now since that's like the clear growing social media network. I mean the money's in YouTube. Like everyone kind of knows that. I don't think that's going to change. But the audience and the younger audience is TikTok and um, Snapchat. So part of it too, like what, like like to me, this is looking girlish. This is looking elvish here. But for you though, Chris, like that you can tell it's a boy. You can tell this is a boy, and I don't think you can tell with mine. I don't know. Yeah, I don't know if you can tell. But that's why you keep playing with the forms. Like once you get the idea down, like you're like, all right, this is like this is the madness here. Like I have all these things figured out. Then it's like, all right, like let's punch it out. Like I read a lot about Disney. Like I think I've read four, maybe three, like three Disney biographies. And Walt always said, he said you have to plus it out. So he would just kind of like walk around and talk to people and do his rounds. And they had like, yeah, that became a part of the terminology for their process and animation. I mean, like even the Imagineers, like the people behind like the theme parks and stuff like that. Like they'll say to themselves, like plus it out, plus it out. What that means is you get what works, and you just kind of you go a little bit further with it. Yeah, and keep in mind too, like if I input out that tweet, it's just kind of like it's just one of those things where like I wouldn't like when would I try and draw an anime manga inspired character. So that's the importance of it, of social media. That's the power of social media. Like people will tell you otherwise. People will tell you that social media will rot your brain and make you uh, compete with people, and it messes with your dopamine and all this stuff. But I don't know. I think if you're balanced and you kind of have good intentions on social media, and you realize that like you'll eventually get into a disagreement, but you would do that anyway. You would do that if you like worked at a job or went to a school. You would just eventually have a disagreement with someone. And if you just don't take it to heart, like put that ego away, social media is um, very useful. Great tool. Like, great tool. See, like, here you go. Those lines make it work there. But I do like the idea that it's a little bit in the middle, too. Like that kind of gender in between, we'll call it tween gender. Is it a boy? Is it a girl? Don't really know. Don't really care. It looks cool. I think that's a part of the challenge. Yeah, right. But cheers to anyone tuning in. Cheers to anyone watching. I usually do my promos, but I was kind of excited to jump on this. And like my original idea was I was gonna make this like a DJ like spin table, but I don't know if I can kind of like communicate that. So we might just do like just like a fun action shot. Yeah, but like this is the stuff I enjoy. Like I enjoy the challenge of it all. And think about it. Like maybe one day like this becomes like the next, like really like this whole story becomes the next big thing. And then I don't know, maybe like I selfishly with my ego get to say, hey, I live streamed that way back before anyone knew. Yeah, I think there's like a level of truth to that. I think like that's the stuff that can really happen. Like one day I'm gonna be just sitting around eating Fritos and Cheetos at like 3 o'clock in the morning, and I'm gonna like pop on Netflix and it's gonna be like boom, like it's gonna be right there, and there's gonna be like some like holy shit moment. But I don't know, like that's the stuff like I embrace that. Now, what would freak me out would be if it does become a Netflix cartoon, if the thumbnail was an image similar to this. That's where I might draw the line. Yeah, see, like that's crazy. Like, is it on? Is the webcomic? You may have told me, and you know what? The last couple days I've been like just to kind of, if you want to trade like a little bit of like processes, I have been like knee deep on working on like my own, like this is like my own stuff here, and yeah, there's just like I got like a lot of layouts, like a lot of this is like all story, and yeah, I've been kind of like in a little bit of a bubble. So I haven't been monitoring as much, but like we kind of like have. Where is it here? See, like we got a page in the works for my one book, and then we have this. Like I wanted to be inking this tonight, so it's just stuff, and like I haven't been really involved with my phone, but I'm usually really good with catching up on things. But for sure, I will read the webcomic, and I will even do like a video review on it. Even though I know I promised so many people video reviews. And always feel free, to bug me and remind me of anything, because life's busy sometimes, and it's really not being able to have the time. Sometimes it's just like how you're layering your obligations and what you're jumping on. And sometimes when people remind you, that's like the extra nudge. It's like someone telling you like you can't do something, so you like, and then like what you do, you just jump right on it. And I don't mind being nudged. I think that's a part of it. Yeah, I nudge people. Sometimes I'll just sit on my phone some days and just nudge people. Where's that script? Where's that story? Did you read this? What are your thoughts? Endlessly. But I will definitely read the webcomic, like 1,000%. But I guess it's like webtoons, I would guess. Yeah, I mean, look, a lot of the like I do action poses the old way. Like I really try and find like one center line, and then it's like center line, and then it's like torque. So like right here would be like torso, and I'm going to put that, like we throw the head in the middle, but by torque I mean like shoulders are this way, the hip is this way. So within like a couple lines, it's like again you follow your through line. So we have like the foot here. We can throw the next leg in the back, and then look, see like the arms. Like I always like when I do my head, when I throw it on my head, I throw in the clavicle real quick from the middle. Like if I split the torso in two, I throw in the clavicle, and then you kind of do like a triangle, and you have like a little bit of a measurement there. So it would be like, see, like shoulder, and then you can kind of recede here. You can bring this forward here. So it's like foreshortening, but it really is. It's like through line or action line and torque. And it's like rinse and repeat. And look, there's a reason why a lot of your favorite artists and all that, right? Like illustrators, artists, animators, there is a real reason why they do have a wheelhouse when it comes to poses. Because once you figure out a pose and you can kind of see it in your mind's eye, you repeat it as much as you can, not because you're lazy, because you're trying to get it right. and you're always chasing that nut to get it right. And that's a little bit of assignment versus progress. And I don't know if there's many people that can like, even people like Jim Lee, right? Because so many people go to Jim Lee. Jim Lee thrives in a handful of poses. If you go out through his entire career, you can just make a flip book of the poses that Jim Lee nails. And you can actually make another flip book on the poses he doesn't. And you can kind of make a timeline. Some poses he doesn't go back to when he doesn't nail them. Yeah, I mean, like, you gotta, that's a part of it. That's a critical part of development. Okay? Is the nudge. Get the nudge. Is it really? See, like, I don't know. I had so many people forward me webtoons and they're like, this would be perfect for you. And I'm like, would it? Because I just want to get good. Like, I want to get good. I want to maintain being good. You know, like, I want to get into my elder years and still be good. Like, I'm not really trying to do anything but that. You know, like, I think if people knew me as a sound illustrator, like, that's it. Like, I don't know what else I would want. You know, but hey, if you have a site though, like, that is, I feel like you and me might be the only two people that actively work on their own website. Which is so funny how, like, just personal websites is like dead. They're just like meaningless at this point. And I don't know. I think you need a powerful website presence because you don't know where your network, like, when your network's going to disappear. Like, something could happen to Twitter. You know, not talking about Twitter like banning you. I'm just talking about something could happen with Twitter where Twitter's just not there anymore. And people think that stuff is just like impossible. It's like, no. You have to do it all. You have to try and do it all. And you kind of have to be obsessive and a little bit crazy about it. Obsessive in a good way. So here's my quote. We have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 fingers. Just making sure we're drawing our guys with 5 fingers. Yeah, I mean, like, here's the funny thing. Like, I remember back in the day where everything, like, there used to be a website called, like, I want to say it was called, like, Comic-Con, like, Comic-Con. It might have been comiccon.com. Or maybe, like, comicbookcon.com. And it was all a collection of, like, publisher websites. And then you can go into, like, Artist Alley. And it was all individual artist websites. And that was that was your hub. That was like the real internet. And like, it was kind of a little bit better because everyone kind of had different solutions for things. It was a little bit more dynamic, but then everyone would just kind of gather in forums. And I just think now it's like the like Twitter and these other things, they really breed into this aggressive, like, dopamine, pay attention to me type atmosphere. But if you have your own site and you even have your own forum, you can kind of, like, tell people to go away. You can block emails and IPs and MAC addresses. I get it. Like, you can block people on Twitter and stuff, but it's public knowledge when you do. Like, sometimes you can be the bad guy because you block someone, which I don't understand. Because if we care about mental health and these things, which are like, it's great that like even something like mental health is just like a part of the like I'll say like national conversation. Uh, like I've had people really get up like sad, upset. I mean, it made me feel like garbage for like blocking them or muting them. But there's people out there that kind of need that stuff. Like they need some of that social interaction, and Twitter and Insta is that. But then those are usually also the people who like give you too much of a opinion. Like I blocked this one dude one time, and he had like a really cool book. Like I was just really trying to help him, and I'm like, dude, I really think you have something. And like just socially, he was so off that there was one day I was on this like conference call, and he was just blowing up my IG. Like it was crazy with nothing but like endless questions at 1 o'clock in the afternoon on like a business day. And I kind of like blew up on him and blocked him. But like maybe like a year later, I kind of like unblocked him and just like reached out to him and was like, look, dude, like maybe I overreacted, but like maybe we can kind of, be still friends again. And he just went on and on about like how upset he was that like I did that. Just made me feel bad. But he still did, like you still deserved it, dude. And I'm sure people blocked me for like stuff like that. Sometimes you don't know how you're coming off. But here we go. Hey, Jay Lee, dude, thanks for the heads up when I was having that sound issue, dude. That night was nuts. I couldn't. It hadn't been my connection. I was so frustrated. And that feed you caught, no joke. It took me 3 times to get that Wildstorm Wednesday done. I did it 3 straight times. Yeah, dude. Like anyone, look, people. Here's the thing. Okay, this is a part of like this is why we call it the AKA Pad Army. I've been in web development for about 15 years. Okay. My web coding goes back to Microsoft Live. Okay. Look that up. Okay. It's a Microsoft front page. Okay. They're extinct web development platform. I've spent endless hours on Dreamweaver. Now I straight code through WordPress. If you need stuff, if you need just like an outline, a communication of what the steps are going to be, the type of attention to pay to a website, what to expect, even costs, reach out to me. Okay. I mean, just do it. We do this to connect and, a little bit. I'm a conduit for that. Like I'm a spark. Let's go. There is no one I wouldn't help because I think more people that put out content, that put out ideas, one day, right? We get something, and then maybe we can move on from things like this. Maybe we can move on from Iron Man.
You're just a cheap
copy. Okay. There's nothing more I would love to see than a generation of creators that trump all of it, that break it all down, break that ice. Yeah, look, no joke. Reach out to me. Sometimes there's easy solutions, sometimes they're more complex, but so a lot of what I do is like project management. I do a lot. Sorry, Iron Man's still talking. I do a lot of consulting. all around Philadelphia, PA, some in New York, New Jersey, but Philly's like my big market. And a lot of times people just need to know what the options are. They just need to know the options and they can make a call. I'm very good with that. So sometimes there are solutions and sometimes there's not. But you have to know that. So always feel free. Feel free. No problem. No, dude, Jay, you thanks, dude. Like I can't not here we go. We'll just keep this up. Yeah, but no, like that means a lot, dude. Like it means a lot when people reach out to kind of give me a heads up on anything. Cause like, some of this stuff's hard. Like you develop things in the vacuum. When you start the live stream, you're in the vacuum. Like you have to be a little bit crazy to want to do stuff like this too, cause you you kind of make yourself subject of endless criticism. Think of and I'm not talking about cancel culture. I'm just talking about people saying your drawing sucks. Which I've been hearing that my whole life. Yeah, so here's a little bit so let me introduce like a little bit of like AKA pad fudging here. Okay. So this is a design element that I love. Okay. The fur around the cuffs of the we'll call this it's more or less like a duster, trench coat / duster. But see, like the fur here, so with the arm here that's stretched out, I'm kind of like, so the fur, it almost like, what it would do here? Like it would block the form and the communication of the foreshortening. Like I need a line here to kind of really push it to where he's like throwing the arm back. This design here, okay, like the way how the character's set up, I don't think I would be like, I would have to work on that. I kind of like this just because it's communicated. Again, drawing, like we're communicating something here. But then for here, for the one in our face, like I can kind of bring that fur back and go a little bit crazy and have fun with it. And even use the fur to draw the, like, almost like the action and the rotation of the hand. So that's where, when people say like, and they're anal about character design and things like that, and I think a lot of writers out there are like that, like writers that, look, we're also in an age where writers are putting together their own books quicker than artists are putting together their own books. And I think these guys, they're so anal about submitting a character design sheet and all these other things that really mean nothing. Like, why? If your book sucks, no one cares if your character is accurate when it comes to page. Maybe if you took away the character design sheet and trust your artist to come up with something amazing, maybe that would sell your like fucking book. And I think there's a lot of that. I think there's a lot of low energy writers out there with books, and the only thing they care about is their characters looking perfect in their books. And it's just like, no one's going to care. People rather have a good book. How about this? They'd rather have a good book than accurate character design from page to page. I know that's maybe unpopular. Oh, thank you. No, this is a lot of this too it's like free association drawing here. Like this is all from the tip of my brain. I'm trying to figure it out as I'm babbling here. But no, I mean, but that's the fun of it. So I think here's the thing. So like when it comes to like what are you going to contribute to like the idea. Okay, if I'm drawing Thanos, if I'm drawing Doctor Doom here, right? What are you going to contribute if you draw Doctor Doom? And like I look for those things. So even for Theo, like it's going to be like these little like pops of hair that are kind of they have a mind of their own, they have a gravity of their own. Okay, they exist just to kind of add a little bit more action. And to me, like that's where I'm just like, that's the stuff that's going to make the difference in the drawing. It's really not the pose, it's not the accuracy, it's those little baby additions, those little baby things. Like here, like with the buckle. Like I just want the buckle to look almost like it's like, I don't know if have you guys ever had belts that fall apart? I think most people have, right? And I kind of want the belt here that goes across his chest. Like I want that to look a little like maybe he has like another month left on that belt. But that's the internal storytelling. Like when you're an artist and you work on something like this, I want to say artist, like illustrator. Everything's a little bit of a story along the way. It's all storytelling. Yeah. Man, oh, so Jay, like, reach out to me, dude. Let me know like what you're working on. Let me know. That's awesome, dude. Because I went to your page. I did try and check you out, and I didn't see too much on your page. But if you wanted to do like a dual live stream and have me draw your dude, and we can just talk about your book the entire time, like let me know. I think stuff like that is super valuable. Yeah. See, okay, yeah. But that's a part of like the whole idea. It's that everything, like this is your world. This is like your universe. Characters over plot, characterisms over plot points. Okay? No one will buy your book over the plot. They will fall in love with the character. They will fall in love with mannerisms, with attitude. And like knowing things like this, like, Theo dug this coat out of the trash. Like, how funny and awesome is that? But again, like perfect. Fitting too for a little bit of a cat character. He's a manimal. I don't know what's he classified as? Yeah, look, I do think we're like, are we in an age? Oh, dude, yeah, dude, James. Oh, nice, thank you. Just got the message, thank you. But no, but here's the thing. It's like we're really in this continental divide of understanding manga. We really are. When I was growing up, okay, manga was like the devil because no one understood the art style. It was the devil. And then it was like it went away. And like the 2000s, the American comic book industry, 2000s, really bred this superhero comeback. Like thanks to the X-Men movie, thanks to it's all thanks to that Wesley Snipes Blade movie. But Blade led to X-Men, X-Men led to Spider-Man, Spider-Man led to the Marvel Cinematic Universe, right? Like, I think that's accurate. I don't think I'm even being frivolous. But then what happened was the content around superheroes just went up. The Flash TV show, Smallville running for 11 seasons. It's just endless stuff, endless awesome cartoons. Like there's the Guardians of the Galaxy cartoon, fantastic. There's this one Avengers cartoon that I absolutely love, but the media around comic books went up. Video games, everything but the comics, and the industry slowly shifted. And then what happened was, as the industry shifted, this window for manga kind of came back, and I think it came back because people like the characters so much more in manga than they do in American comics. I really think like that's the one PowerPoint, so to speak, like the one position people miss, and they kind of attribute these other ideas to it. You know, like they attribute I don't know, like it's a little bit broken. I think the analysis is wrong. I think the analysis is very broken. Hold up here. Just check in a couple messages here. Okay, just make sure I'm not missing anything. Did I forget that there was football tonight? Monday Night Football? I think I did. Who's even right? The Steelers are playing. Steelers. Oh, the Steelers won. Steelers were like having a broken team, but still winning games. Awesome. Awesome, James. Thank you, dude. Let's just get a little bit back to what are we doing? Look, I really have to crank up and get onto TikTok. Oh, wait. What was I doing? I needed the character drawing up. Here we go. Because I am drawing. Yeah, so, I mean, I can kind of like crank out his leg here. Like, right? We can kind of draw the one leg like so. But then, like, his other leg's just going to be, like, right here. Just, like, hidden. But hidden in a good way. You know, too. And Theo also has these, like, he's got these finger gloves, right? Finger gloves. So if they're finger gloves, we can kind of add a little bit more shadowing. And then I can kind of do, you know, almost like a lip. Like the gloves are maybe beat up, torn, a little bit uneven, maybe not the right size for him. Like stuff like that, right? Because you tell a story. Always tell that story. And I think these are the things that stick out. Like if you watch Shrek, like every texture in Shrek, or any texture in any of these CGI movies, like, you know, or anything from Pixar, like the texture always has its own narrative because there's a position around that texture, and you have to, like, you know, like you have to convince people it's real. And realism, just saying it's going to be realistic as an artist, that means nothing. But building a story around it, like, is it chipped? Is it iced? Is it warm? You know, where'd that mark come from? That sort of thing. Yeah, dude. Yeah, like for sure. Lab engineered to die young, but he's a cat. He has 9 lives. One of my favorite memes of all time. I would look it up, but I can never find it when I look it up. But it's a cat looking out of a window, like a little kitten, and he's like leaning on the windowsill. And the meme says, "What am I doing with my 9 lives?" It's my second all-time favorite meme. Yeah, you know, like I have to, like, look. We all have flaws, right? We all have dark spots, and I'm not 100% into like the webcomic game, and I feel like I should be. Well, here we go. Right, we got something. I think we have something. So I really like. I have to pull up the camera just so we get a little bit more of a look, and I need more White Claw. So, like, again, there's you have to make calls. Like, you have to make adjustments because, again, like, am I going to put a pocket here? Technically, there should be a pocket here. But that pocket's going to mess with my shadowing. It's going to mess with a little bit of my line work to show movement. You have to make a call. No pocket. Like, you know, but we want to sell this. Like, we want to sell Theo. We're not selling Theo's right side pocket. But what we need for our boy here. So here we go, right? Illustration. See, I say the reason why I say illustration versus drawing and calling myself an artist and sketching and these other terms. When I say illustration, you know, like I kind of use that in the sense that there's an element of design and graphic design when you illustrate something. If you're an artist, all that's out the window. So the illustrator in me kind of saved room here for the hook. And the hook of this drawing is giving that tail as much movement as possible. Like as much pizzazz, as much attitude, because that's like the cape. You know, like the ears from the Dark Knight or Wolverine's claws, okay? Deadpool's mask. Okay? And you know, like we want to show that off. I would say even like Aquaman and the Trident. Hey, if anyone out there has HBO Max, I don't know why no one's talking about it. There's this awesome, stupid, silly Aquaman HBO Max cartoon that I don't know. I think people don't like it because of the it's the guy that did that Thundercats remake. But I think it's funny as shit. It's fucking hilarious. And I'm not really one to watch. I don't like watching cartoons, like modern day cartoons. I just don't have like a gut for it. I don't have the stamina to watch cartoons anymore. But that Aquaman one's funny though. I had to watch it because I'm like, you know, like I know people are gonna hate this thing. Let me watch it. And these are things sometimes I'll put on while I'm at the drawing table. So we're doing some anime like motion lines for the tail. Inking though, like I guess we'll do more of a Western inking style, but yeah, we'll keep that flavor. Yeah, and wait, let me see like so he has like a fluffier like tail too, so it's cool. We will and look, you want so getting back to the point of like maintaining like energy and depth and movement is when you go into your final like production run, right? Like whatever your final stages, if you keep enough of that open and you can figure it out as you're wrapping up the piece, like that's where you can get some of that spontaneity and some of that energy back. Because again, like as I said in the beginning, we want to do form, like form and movement, form and movement. That's the battle. We're right here. Oh, thank you. I didn't know where this was going when I started. I have to be honest. And I was very upset over like the beginning. but sometimes it's the White Claw. And here, I forget. I don't know. I forget what's in here. Uh oh, this is green tea. So we got White Claw and green tea tonight. But yeah, I mean, like, and that's the I don't know, like that's the fun of it all. Like that's the nuance. Is as it's not just as an artist, right? Like the hell with those quotes, but when you do things like you're kind of like a project manager, and you should always look at efficiency, how time's being wasted, exactly what's happening with your time. I think a lot of people don't know their time frames enough. Know your time frames. Like know what you can do in 1 hour. Long like know how long if you have to do a logo for like your like know it might take you all day to do a logo. But like know it, and then the next time you do it, next time you make a logo, next time you have to do like a layout, it's going to be quicker and quicker and quicker. It's going to get better and better. It's that's just the method, and it will get better. Now that doesn't mean you're going to develop an art style like whoever if you're trying to emulate someone. Like let your style go and let people decide on it. That's why the social media is important, because you do get that feedback loop. Yeah, so like like we're there. I think we're oh wait, is this done? Yeah. But I think we're there. I mean, like this is where we would start inking. And yes, we do. I mean, I guess like because I usually do like speckled debris. That's like one of my like signatures. But I guess here we can call it like it technically might be cat litter, adding a little bit of that motion. But I think this is going to be really fun. Once I mean, I think I should just ink it and like, oh, Harry's in the house. What's up, Harry Penn? This is Theo, right here. Theo is a part of a web comic. Here we go. Let's just do the IG handle shout out. Christy, Stick Freaks. So a week ago, I just said if you follow me on or subscribe to my YouTube and just send me a screenshot of the subscription, I'll draw your character. Christy jumped right in on it like a rock star. I said, look, I DM'd her. I said, let me see your guy. I said, I'm probably going to just live stream it this Monday, and that's it. We're drawing her webcomic character right here, Theo, who is part cat, part boy, created in the lab. He's also a DJ. And I think like I would love to do this like once a week, where we just get like a new subscriber or like someone that leaves a good comment, or a little bit of a thank you from an advocate, and we just draw like original characters. Because who wants to draw Wolverine? I don't. Like that's whack. Yeah, dude. Like, no. Look, Harry. Look, it is. Yeah, I mean, generous. Yeah, I mean, thank you, but I think this is what everyone should be doing. Like it's the idea of almost like a community, or like a self-created like environment to just make things. Like, make things happen. Make these things pop. Make them popular. Give creators feedback. Create that feedback loop. Just so we get better, we get more accurate. We know what people want, because that's what that feedback's all about. The feedback loops define what people want, and then I don't know. I think then we can bust out of this endless sequels, like these endless remakes, and then we'll have like all new properties. Think about that. I don't know. I think that's what we should all be doing. Yeah, yeah. Yeah, no, look, no problem. Thank you for thank all of you for just like hanging out, like making the stream happen. And look, there's things down the road. Look, we're working on issue 2 of Uzi Susie right now. Is getting like I'm going to try and do a Black Friday drop, like with a new cover for these. We're just trying to like hammer that out. I mean, like we're making things. We're doing a lot of stuff here, and going into next year, more of it's going to coagulate. More of it's going to come together. I would love to kind of people that have separate sites. I mean, I would absolutely love to start aggregating those and like even promoting that stuff. Yeah, I mean, look. Here, Harry, let me address this real quick. And look, it's funny you kind of phrase it this way, because I've shot videos of this, and I never dropped them. I never finished them. I never released them. Part of the problem, it's not even like people treating each other. Like, I get it, right? Treat everyone the way you would like to be treated. But I think what clogs the pipes, like, what clogs the toilet, are these pretenders. And these pretenders are the ones that really suck up the noise. They're the ones that like the pretenders, the people who are faking it, are really the time thieves, like, of social media, of any type of movement that could come up. Time thieves they're the ones that do it, and they're the people who talk and they don't produce. And I get it, man. Like, I'm on the hook. I'm on the hook for a Kickstarter getting done. I'm on the hook to launch another Kickstarter. Yeah, same here, dude. Same here. Yeah, I mean, like, it really is like there's a level of like validation that you seek when you create work. It really is. And look, back when I kind of was like really starting, like getting out of high school and stuff like that, in New Jersey, we had this one comic book called The Jersey Devil. And it was kind of like nationally. I think it was on Sci-Fi Channel multiple times, and it was all over like the local news. But it was almost like a really nicely pushed. The guy who made it understood PR. He like understood press releases, and this book was like the local book. And it wasn't until issue like 11 or 12 of that series where the guy called me. He's like, "Hey, like, you do want to help with the book? Like, I'm putting together a new issue." And at that point, it was almost like a dream come true. It was like, oh my god, like my moment has arrived. Cause even back then, it's like, like, you do have to start local to some degree. Like, if you want to be taken seriously, you have to kind of get big in a local market. Okay. And we would go to, so we did 2 books, and we went to conventions, and that was my wake up call. We would go to conventions and spend hours there and sell 2 books. 2 books. And that's where it's like, now, you can sell 25 books in a week, just off of your following, just off of people that monitor your work, that kind of want you to complete something, that they're engaged in your creative process. And it's just like, I really feel like going to conventions. I think going to conventions is more social for people. Some people, it could be for business. Like, I'm not denying that, but I think for too many of the people that go to conventions now, they're all pretenders that spend thousands of dollars at tables, hotel rooms, just to socialize. And they do that rather than go to the bar down the street and meet new friends and talk to babes. Yeah, I mean, I call that the noise. Like, just like quick example. It's like you have the noise. Like, the noise is this. Like, it's all of this. And these are people who do things for like a month. They might do it for a year. But they're like the ones like that are sucking up the bandwidth. And then you have like this many. Like, you have like a small percentage of people, and they have to kind of like, it's almost like a game. Like, you have to like just fight your way through the noise. And then by the time you fight your way through the noise, it's like you have enough followers and you're smart enough on social media and you do good enough work on social media to where it pops to the moon. But that noise, it's literally like the trenches of World War One, and this is all like mustard gas, and it's treacherous, fucking evil. And that's your social media lesson for the day. Like Chris Sticks. Here we go. Am I being baited here? Look, to some degree, yes. Okay. To another degree, there's people. When I was working with Dix Hicks, there was a lot of that I spotted in him early. I was vocal on it. Okay. 100% vocal. I know this is probably going to get back to him. And I warned him. I said, dude, the pattern you're on, like the things you say, the work I'm seeing, again, like the share folder never really getting updated with work. Share folder being dominated by Peter. I said, dude, and I told him, I said, Chris, I'm not going to let you, I'm not going to let that happen to you. Like, we will complete Dark Hero. We will put Dark Hero out there. But you have to let me draw. Like, you have to let me draw pages, and then we can take it from there. But I needed like a look, that's a loaded comment. It's a loaded response, and like, I know he's pushing a novel. I know he's pushing a book that he previously posted needing a co-writer for. And I don't know. I think it's harder to write a novel than it is to work on a comic book and have someone do 50% of, at that point, probably about 90% of your work. That was still going to give you full credit and put your name on the book. Yeah, look, some of it might be different. Like, I'm going back a little bit. Some people, some books, like some ideas connect very well with like a table setup. But if you took like the lower tier of people that buy convention tables, like if you just take like an aggregate, like you're going to get a very small chunk of people that get traction at conventions, and stick freaks, if you get traction at conventions, that's something that like you figured out. Okay, that's probably not even a formula you could replicate, but go with it, like conquer it. Yeah, it's look. I put my own book on hold to get Dark Hero out the door, because I there was a couple things that I thought would happen through it. I thought I would kind of grow a little bit more on social media. I thought having Chris with me as a marketer, um, like would be a move, quote, like, and dude, I'm on the hook to get Trial by Fire like done, and I'm kind of racing towards getting it done by 2022. Yeah, like horror cons are big, but here's the thing, like it's always like what's the intention, like what's the intent of a, and look, hold up here. Can we just rotate? Let's rotate. We gotta switch drawings. We're gonna put Theo on hold, everyone. We're also drawing Dark Hero right now, by the way. So, and you know what? Real quick, editor's note. This guy I kind of wanted to have like shoulder blades, like shoulder pads, like 90s style, because I thought it would be funny, and I thought I drew them in here, and I didn't. So bear with me while I have a heart attack and figure this out. But no. So I think the one thing like when it comes to like the indies, okay, the crazy thing is the bigger companies, IDW, Boom, Image, all of them, they share information. And they share information by trading executives and office staff. It's a small industry. Everyone kind of knows each other. But Boom, like that's why we saw a lot of withdrawal of these bigger companies from these bigger shows. Because I don't think the juice was worth the squeeze. And that, kind of created maybe like a little bit of a window for these like creators to come in, like the smaller guys. This is not going to fucking work. None of this is going to work. This pose is like reliant on these shoulders. I'm just getting pissed here real quick, people. But what's the success of going to a convention? And I don't think there's enough of a dialogue. I don't think there's enough exchange in some of these like groups out there where people spend a lot of money to go to these shows, even if it's a local one, because you got to put your time into it. And I think if you do anything worthwhile, hourly, you should be at $125 an hour, okay? And like factor that in. If you spend a Sunday and a Saturday going to a convention, your budget's going to start at around $3,000 just out of your time. 2 days, it's worth $3,000. And then like if you add up all the expenses, the food, the gas, if you bring someone with you, like you got to pay for that person. I don't think the average independent comic book independent creator can sell enough books to cover that. Okay, because we're talking a lot of comics, even to cover your time. But people rate the success of conventions differently, and that's where like there's not enough dialogue. I don't think there's enough traction on that. I may be wrong. I do follow a ton of these guys on Facebook, and I study their every move. I DM them like there's my DMs are always like on fire because I talk to people about some of this stuff. Yeah, like like I do believe that I think that is a little bit what happened with YouTube. There is a little bit of a showmanship on that, but I don't know. Like you know what it is too. Like I want to talk books. I want to talk like the book. I want to talk story. I want to talk characters. I want to tell people what I'm ripping off. like what I'm copying. Like I want to have these long form conversations about the work, like the actual work. Okay. And I think some of these streams now, I mean, they're kind of all about like the news cycle. Like I understand that there is these ideas, right? Like culture war, Kyle Rittenhouse, Joe Biden, like all of this stuff. Dude, I get it, but I don't want to go to like a stream and see people go over like news segments about that stuff. I'm about to like rip this fucking page up. I don't know. I'm really not seeing it. I don't know why I'm not seeing. I don't know why I'm not seeing the forms here. But this guy too he's like a 90s character, like 90s ripoff character that is just getting like destroyed by a Dark Hero. But this is also like ad work. But hold on, sorry, I was just blacking out there. But no. So like, like do I feel like, do I feel like what we're doing here should be a little bit more of like what these streams should be like, especially if you have a big platform? Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I think the more people you have talking about the quality of products, how you're making the products, the problems with making the products, and like, like you're not doing stuff about news stories, and then people just copy it. Like, if someone big does it, everyone else like copies it, and then it kind of creates this cycle. I mean, it's like I would kill myself if I did a run of like Shang-Chi videos bashing that freaking movie, or even like, because I was guilty. I did a bunch of uh, Captain Marvel videos, and the videos I did, I thought I was like adding to like the conversation. I thought my dialogue around Captain Marvel was pretty dead on and unique, but just the way how like everyone goes on about like Shang-Chi, and then Shang-Chi is like a good movie and kills it at the box office. Like you've done like 2 months worth of videos where you're absolutely wrong. That's the stuff that I have trouble with. Yeah. Yeah, it's like, like, yeah, I agree, dude. I agree. Yeah, I mean, but that's the thing. The books like the arithmetic. And look, some people look, if you like get yourself an LLC, use the conventions as a write-off, like do that. Like rock and roll. Right. And I think that's that's the split, that's the duality for 1,000%, dude. It's not dude. 1,000% without the dude. What we got here? What we got? Yeah, there is. There is. I'm not too familiar with all the CG fractions though. There's so many fractions now. I agree. I agree. You can still nerd out. Yeah, I just think there's something I like about cartoonist kayfabe where they keep it they keep it to comics. And I think when it comes to making comics, keeping it to comics makes everyone produce better comics. Oh, by the way, I think I solved the riddle of this armament here. Look, when when you're on my drawing table, when in doubt, just destroy it. Like, just destroy the object you're trying to draw, just so you can get away with it not being 100% accurate. Okay. Now, but keep in mind, this was already supposed to be destroyed, but you guys get the point. Yes. Yeah. But people take that and they extrapolate, like, that type of stuff bleeds out. I mean, I did 2 videos. I think I did 2 videos in one podcast episode that I haven't released yet, and it was really kind of about how the Rotten Tomatoes score of Eternals, like, it means nothing. It literally means nothing. And I kind of was like, I've recorded it, and I'm just so hesitant to even release it because I just think it's stupid and negative. Like, I'm making a video commenting about people commenting on a Rotten Tomato score. It's just like, oh, I can't do it. I can't do it. Yeah, like, I've said this before. That's a little bit of what we're talking about, Harry. Like, that's very much of what we're touching here. Yeah, I think it's grift to a point. Yeah, grift's a little bit of a loaded term. Look, I grew up real quick, Harry. I grew up with one grift, and that's grifter right here. This is the grift I grew up on. All right. One of my favorite characters that literally got destroyed with endless revamps. Yeah, look, cartoonist kayfabe is elitist junk. Okay, they fetish. They fetish. It's like a fetish, like the way how they look at artwork, and I don't know, like, is it unpopular to kind of say that kayfabe doesn't draw? Like, none of those guys draw well, and they kind of like, but they do have good insight. They do know the history. They have to be dominating on Reddit, right? I would say, like, that's a chunk of where they get their info from. I could be wrong. Maybe I am. Yeah, I mean, I think using cons as a PR tool that's a hidden cost. Like, right? It's hard to value that. Yeah, they've done short films. Harry, feel free to like DM me like any links to their short films. I'm very curious about that. Yeah, dude, Harry. I don't know if you ever noticed, like, the way how I structured Wildstorm Wednesday is literally like a response to cartoonist kayfabe, and it really breaks my heart that no one watches Wildstorm Wednesday, because I really feel like my angles, my positions, and the things I do with Wildstorm Wednesday, I do think it's fun. I think it's nuanced, but comic book reviews generally don't do well on YouTube anyway. They don't do well on live streams, but I'm still going to do them because I feel like they are valuable. Yeah. Yeah. I mean, like, what is happening with that? Like you you're there like spending endless hours to build this YouTube network, and you really should be practicing. Like, and I know that's me. I know that's me. Yeah, yeah. Oh, right. Exactly. No, exactly. Right. Like, you know what the one guy I like? What's his name? The Star Wars theory guy. I like him, number one, because he works the fuck out. But number two, he does put his money where his mouth is, and he does these super high end, like, fan films. And at least he's like, like there's something to these things he's endlessly reporting on. Yeah, he's at least making films, the Star Wars theory guy. Yeah, dude, the my friend gave me the Jack Kirby book that I still have here, and I'm not joking. I I've opened that thing up so many times and tried to. I said like I'm going to like and I can't do it. I cannot do it because of it's a it's a docu book. It's a docu comic, and I just don't think there's much there. I just don't with his Jack Kirby book. Um, and too, like I would give him credit if in that book he just said Jack Kirby created Marvel Comics and fuck everyone else. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Stick freaks, I love you. Thanks. We will rock and roll. I'll DM you. I'll get you. I'll create a share folder for us, and we can. I can put some artwork in that for you. Okay. Yeah, I mean it is, but it's not. But he creates though, right? Like that Darth Vader one that he made, fucking awesome. And it's like, and he spends real money on it, and that's really what he wants to do. And dude, like it gets to the point though where it's like how much Star Wars theory can I watch? But at least he's one of those guys that are out there busting it up, at least adding to it. At least he's gaining skills in producing and putting together like a movie. Like he's learning shit. But I really feel like this whole conversation around the Eternals, I don't understand it. And I get it may not be like a perfect movie or whatever, but then again, like what movie is? Uh but I said if the Eternals came out in the 70s, it would be called Zardoz. It would be Zardoz. Good night, good night. Yeah, I kind of I think yeah. I mean, the network is huge. Like the is the network tappable? Yeah, for sure. Well, all right. I mean, we kind of. Oh, I'm like, we kind of have something here, but we kind of. But thank you for acknowledging that cartoonist KFAB cannot draw. I have all 4 issues of Red Room too. I don't know why. Like, cause I don't really buy stuff when I go to the comic shop. I really don't. But I look around and I'll buy like cheap old comics. And so like I just as I've been popping in, I've been seeing like Red Room kind of like roll in, and I've just been like buying them because I'm like, like let me at least see what's happening. But I mean, I think when it comes to story, I think like Uzi Susie like does what I did with Uzi Susie in like 12 pages here. I don't know. I think that's like this is a real outlaw comic to me. Outlaw comics should also be tough to obtain. But I would have given Piscor a little bit more credit if Red Room was strictly on the Patreon. Like if he really kind of stuck to that model, I thought that was very noble. And then like kind of created like something else. Yeah, I mean the super chats are insane that they get. Yeah, or you can crowdfund a short film because look, you being in business for yourself is expensive. You need all you need all the money. You really do. Even if you're paying yourself, you need all the money. They can get their community going on some type of like movie, film, comic. I just think that stuff's a waste. I really do. Even Jim Lee. Like I know Jim Lee streams and stuff. I used to watch his streams. Because you sometimes you get like some good tips. I say sometimes because I feel like I've gotten all the tips from like I could from Jim Lee. And like why isn't Jim Lee pushing like new projects on his streams? He just goes to draw. And it's like, dude, like you could be pushing all your DC comics and get people like really excited. But you're not. The Jim Lee stuff will forever baffle me. The modern day Jim Lee, I don't know. I can't figure that guy out. Yeah, okay. I just commented on that. Okay, it's so Harry, you raised that question when I just organically went into it. Yeah, Red Room. Yeah. Sorry, I'm just catching up on it. Yeah, fuck Jim Lee. Hey, old Jim Lee though. Old Jim Lee. Okay? Like same with this guy. Wait, where's it at? Look. Right, ready? Same with this guy. Right? The Todd father. Because here's the thing. I have a couple friends that own shops, right? And I was talking with one of them, and he deals. He's like he's good with things, right? Not good with everything. He's good with things. I'll just say that. And there's some things he does well, some things he doesn't do well. Like, but I used to kind of anyway. But we were talking, and he was telling me like how they used to have like a direct account with McFarlane Toys. They would order direct, and like the case minimum I think was 9 or 10 cases, and throughout the years that case minimum has gone up for small shops like him. So now he can't get McFarlane Toys without going through a distributor. Him going direct with McFarlane now is too expensive, and he kind of views McFarlane as someone that really turned his back on these like smaller shops that sustain McFarlane Toys while like the recession hit and they changed their business model because like that's why McFarlane Toys changed what they were doing. They became really more of an action figure company than like the other cool stuff they were doing, like the what's that, like the Tortured Souls from Clive Barker, like fucking awesome shit. And they became just an action figure company that licenses shit. But like, I really feel like a lot of these Image guys, they just gave up. They just gave the fuck up. And no, like, we don't do that here. The AKA Pad Army does not do that. We don't give up. Even in the face of Armageddon, right? Watchmen, maintain your principles even at the end. Fuck it. Fuck them all. Now I'm pissed. Now you got me pissed. Yeah, like but that's that's a little bit of the uh story, right? Because like, dude, working on comics is a lonely business, and your social circle is the people you work with, which is why it's good to have like like pickup skills and social skills. Like you can kind of go outside and meet a lady, and you don't have to look at your employees' ladies. It's a cuck move, simp move, not cuck, simp. Yeah, I would say like my Jim Lee, like the Jim Lee. All right, like all right. I gotta take my glasses off for this. When does my Jim Lee end? So early Marvel Jim Lee, X-Men Jim Lee, Awesome Wildcats, Wildstorm Jim Lee, Return to Marvel Jim Lee, Fantastic Four, Heroes Reborn Jim Lee, awesome. DC Comics Jim Lee, Hush, awesome. New 52, I guess maybe like New 52 Jim Lee. I think the New 52 is one of the most unforgivable things, events, decisions. The New 52 might be the worst decision in comic book history. And I think at that point that eroded this trust in DC Comics because they were no longer a legacy-based publisher. They alienated the diehards, and then at that point became an endless universe reboot center. I don't know. Like Jim Lee, who has nurtured some of the greatest, best modern day artists and illustrators. Like he's nurtured them, and you can't get books together within the DC universe without rebooting. Like you have to do that, and you got like guys like Mark Waid and Jeff Johns fucking writing for you. I don't know. The New 52 was low hanging fruit. It was easy sales. I don't think he's recovered since that, in my eyes. Yeah, look, he I don't know. I think with his reach, he can be way more vocal about a lot of stuff. I think that's a little bit of it. I think all the Image guys could be way more vocal about what's happening. Yeah, I mean, look, he's doing stuff. He's doing stuff. I still don't buy people are excited about Spawn. I just don't. I just don't. I just can't. I can't do it. Can't do it. I could be wrong. Yeah. Deathblow. Yeah, dude. Jim Lee, right? Darker Image 1, Deathblow, 1, 2, 3, and then layouts for 4, and then Tim Sale takes over. If you get into the later issues of Deathblow, when Tim Sale's drawing, I think he draws it up till issue 12. The Tim Sale Deathblow, solid story, solid art, solid everything, really makes up for not being able to read the first couple of issues. No. 52 was not Jim Lee as head editor, but Jim Lee, that was a part. Like it was Jim Lee and Dane, like the Dito, that really was like pushing that. Like that was their thing. Like Dane Dito too is partially to blame also, but Jim Lee, like you gotta remember too, Jim Lee's the art lead. Like he's the lead guy, and I'll say this: I don't think Jim Lee's ever designed a character outside of his '90s X-Men redesigns that lasted. I don't think. I mean, he did a great Kyle Reiner redesign, but he's not a great character designer. He's not. Modern day Tim Sale can't draw for shit, but Tim Sale working on Death Blow. I don't know. That's a tough one because he was working in that Frank Miller style, and his proportions for Death Blow too are fucking awesome. I don't know. Tim Sale falls up. Look, a lot of these guys get old and they fall apart. Modern day Tim Sale, heck no. Captain America, Red, White, and Blue Tim Sale, no. Long Halloween Tim Sale, Dark Victory, Hulk Gray, Spider-Man, blue, Daredevil Yellow Tim Sale. I'm in. I'm all in. Yeah, so I would say, does Long Halloween have much of a story? Rather than like it's a cat and mouse detective. It has a hook at the end, right? I don't know if Long Halloween to me never was much of a story. But the did you watch the animated movie for Long Halloween? To some degree, yeah, he is. But I feel like he's a successful wannabe Miller. He's a successful wannabe Miller. Hey, look, if it's okay to like emulate people though. Because it's sometimes like it's not up to you if you're original. Like sometimes other people build you up and they put you on a pedestal, and then like you become original because you know what? Like real quick, going back to Jim Lee. Oh, what was I just watching? Jim Lee did like a video for something. It was like a short video, and he made like this comment about his influences. And like he doesn't mention like John Byrne. He only mentions like DC guys as his influences. And it's like, dude, you are a John Byrne clone that was lucky enough to develop your own shit, like your own style. Jim Lee is John Byrne in my eyes. Yeah, sometimes it is. Yeah, but I do feel like Tim Sale evolved because he did like Tim Sale did a what was it, like a game bit, right? He did like this one mini series for Marvel that really was a Frank, like it was his Frank Miller-ist, like his most Frank Miller-ist. And I forget what miniseries that was. Jeez, I can't remember because your two best Frank Miller riffs during that time was him and Scott McDaniel on Daredevil, who later did probably the best run of Nightwing ever. But they were still very Miller-esque, and but that style was so popular, and it inspired a lot of people. Inspired Rob Liefeld, Jim Lee, like everyone had to do a Sin City riff. But that goes to show you like how good Miller is. Like Miller's ability is beyond words, same as Alan Moore. Just they're beyond words. Like you cannot describe how good those two guys are, especially when they were hot. Yeah, the DC Fandom Expo. Yeah, it's like he's I forget the exact reference, but it's almost like you're just talking about DC because we get it. You're a DC guy, but your influences, like my friend, is John Byrne. You're John Byrne. Yeah, dude, there's Jim Lee, same as John Byrne. There's Jim Lee and John Byrne in every single comic book work. There really is. I really would say John Byrne more than Jim Lee, though, because I think, um, people forget that Jim Lee and that whole generation was three guys. It was George Perez, John Byrne, Frank Miller. Like, that is it. And people, like, no one, does anyone even talk about George Perez anymore? Like, what the fuck? Yeah, I mean, like, are we done with that too, dude? I even like getting back to like KFAB, dude. Like KFAB, their interviews are just softballs. Like I'm like, dude, I'm like, what are you doing? Like, because I would be excited for some of them. Like, I would want to watch like the Brian Bolin one, dude. Brian Bolin went on Cartoonist KFAB and told them that they fetishize artwork. Like he didn't say directly to them, but he said like they're asking these questions, and he's like, I don't know. He's like, some people make more of it than what it is. It's like, oh my god, you just like destroyed the whole fucking channel. Yeah, Swamp Thing. Yeah. Oh, hold up. We got Alan Moore here. I don't know. I don't know. That's tough. That's maybe it's taste, right? Like not everyone's supposed to have the same taste, but I really feel like I don't know. Like when Alan Moore was writing Supreme for Rob Liefeld, that was the best Superman book at the time. There was two great Superman books that weren't Superman. One was Mr. Majestic by Joe Casey, and the other one was Alan Moore Supreme. Those books were better than what they were emulating, and I just think I don't know, like Mr. Miracle, like I get that's a little bit of my like I don't know. I don't know. It's tough, dude. But Watchmen is, oh, it's tough, dude. I don't know. That just, that gets me. That gets me. Yeah, Swamp Thing's, dude. That blue issue for Swamp Thing, the blue issue, masterpiece. Yeah, George is right. George used to be on Mount Rushmore. Where is he now? Is he still alive? Is George Perez still alive? He's still alive. Um, All right, here we go. You guys want to just here we go. Let me do this. Let me do this. Right? Hold up. I'm only looking it up because I do have it, but I'm not going to dig it up right now. Um Here we go. Ready? We're going to do hold up here. I'm getting like bad uh there we go. Hold up here. I'm trying to get the right. Here we go. We got okay, ready? Ready? It brings me to eBay. Okay, we're just going to do this. Ready? Black Hawk, because you have to compare the time and the time that stuff, all this stuff, right? Black Hawk came out around the same time as DKR, around the same as Watchmen. If your position is DKR is greater than Watchmen, I can agree with that, but I would say Black Hawk is greater than DKR is greater than Watchmen because the Chaikin Black this here 3 prestige volumes. It's shorter. It's there. It is it's boiled. Actually, it's precise. I'll say this is precise. Totally my flavor. Yeah, yeah. Uh Wish I could disagree with that. Yeah, Teen Titans. You know what he did too? The one book Perez did a book called Crimson Plague that might be his best drawn work. He also did worked for what was it? It was like an Isaac Asimov, like iRobot, but it wasn't iRobot. Oh, it might have been for I even forget the company, but he did this one like robot book in like the late '90s that was phenomenal. Here we go. But let's just keep that up. Yeah, and Chaikin too. Like, look, I get that people get old, people whatever, but I think Howard Chaikin not like almost like backing away from the fire that he had when he was younger is very depressing to me. Very depressing. Because American flag is one of the best expressions in comic book history. It really is. And people kind of again this not they it's not that they even dismiss it. They just don't know it's there. I think did Dynamite someone did a collected edition of Chaikin's American flag too that I never picked that up because at the time I had all the floppies. But now I don't have any. Yeah, Crimson Plague's the shit. That fucking book is crazy. I love it. I know. I know. What is I don't understand when like you know what this is too? Like, you know what part because I just one like let me go to personal anecdote. So we were out drinking in Philly one night, me and a bunch of people, and we were hanging out. Me and my one friend, we were hanging around with some doctor girls, doctor babes. Okay, and my one friend kind of like blew this encounter with like one of our friends that I thought was like super cute, and he had like a chance with. And he blows this whole opportunity with this doctor girl because he couldn't separate in his mind how like a doctor has like intimate knowledge of the human body, right? Like the way how things work. But then like they can still get addicted to drugs. Like kind of like the idea of like, well, wouldn't you know not to take drugs? And drug abuse is actually really big in the medical community. Like, like if you're an anesthesiologist, there are some programs where you have to physically text someone every 30 minutes because the addiction rate for that is through the roof. So, but he like blows this whole opportunity. And I was like, talking to him about it. And I'm like, dude, like you have to kind of accept that things can like like there's hypocrisy in this world and things can be opposite and even two things can be true at the same time. And he just like couldn't let go of it, just could not let go of it. Like it just was just a thought that like you could see it just penetrated and poisoned like his mind in real time. And also too, like we're drinking. And I think about that when I watch cartoonist KFAB. Because I'm almost like, how can you endlessly go on about some of this stuff? And you're like, like you're not a guy whose style I would emulate or copy or want to be like. Like, how can you be that connected with comics and then be so detached of your own quality? So that's a long way of saying I agree. Yeah, okay. Do I have to look up Carrie? Do I have to look this up? Oh, yeah. Dude, guys, wait, did he draw this cover? This is I love this cover. Dude, I never really delved into him. But I would say like classic style, like professional, like he's a pro. He's a fucking pro. See, this is the shit that pisses me off. Superman Unchained, right? Here's a Terry alternate cover. And it's like, oh great, like you gave the guy that built the company, built up the character, you gave him like one fucking cover. Like great job. But like this image, this is like as iconic as anything and used a million times. I wonder what this was for. Like promo piece or I mean that almost looks like production artwork for the movie. Look at this though. This is just awesome. But these pages here, like look at this Luke Cage. Just the blacks, look, like the black up here. And like it really is kind of look, see it the blacks to triangulate like right into Luke Cage's like face. But look how well he drew like the roulette wheel. Like good stuff. Isn't this like one of John Burns's robots from Doomsday? Like his early work. This is great too. Look at this. Like his Superman run now. Like I could get into all of this. But the illustrative quality too. I love the foreground silhouette grass here. But it's just layered. Like this is just beyond layered. Hot stuff, dude. Great influence, though. Great influence. Great tip, dude. Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. I agree. Yeah, I mean that's harsh, but I would really say that I wouldn't be surprised. Like, would you be surprised if cartoonist K-Fab still got bullied? I wouldn't. Yeah, Superman, endless. Yeah, the way, yeah, like Kerry is a straight up illustrator, just straight up, like perfect technique. No way, dude, that is awesome, dude. Like where I grew up in Jersey, like I'm not far from EVS. Um, a couple other of the CGers live close to me. But growing up too, like Adam Hughes was a local guy. You would hear about him. I never like seek them out. Like again, like not being much of a convention person, even like as a consumer. Like never really got into the convention scene. I gotta figure out what we're doing here. I just feel like I'm noodling at this thing fucking endlessly. I mean, I still gotta fix his fist here. Just drawing more details, you know. So is Kerry like? I guess he still drawing? Is he like too old? I know. Look, I know that stuff catches up. Yeah, dude. I don't know. Like Ed Piskor, like number one, like some of his takes, I think are like his life takes. They crack me up. I love it when he'll post. That just makes me sound like a hater. I mean, I respect Piskor's game like so much, so like I really feel like he's made like a cottage industry for himself, but he cracks me up when he'll post his bike rides on Instagram, like him riding a bike somehow like makes you fit, like makes you a healthy person, and it's just like no, no, it doesn't. Lifting weights, going to the gym every single day, acting like an animal makes you healthy. Like, that is it. Yeah, and we're making this dude like straight up 90s, like 90s dude. So what I'll say this. So one of the like holdups really for like Dark Hero kind of really getting like a big push for me is I gotta get momentum on wrapping up Trial by Fire. I have to kind of get my lettering pipeline down. And then the other big piece is Dark Hero, or what later will be name change coming soon, is there's going to be like a run of like promo videos, like products that I really can like I can be totally comfortable in saying we haven't seen it before. Like the level of promotion that will go into Dark Hero is going to be completely unique. Okay, and I'm I'm the only one to get that together. So the story's still happening. We're doing all the character designs, doing all of the design work, really building these unique aspects of the campaign out. But like a chunk of it still needs to be complete. Okay. And that's a little bit of the mistake I made with Trial by Fire. I thought that I would be a little bit quicker, a little bit more aware of keeping up with Trial by Fire. And some of that too was the hook of the story was kind of there, but not really. And like you gotta go back to like formula sometimes. If I quote Norman Osborn in the first Spider-Man movie, you gotta go back to formula. Yeah, he's almost 70 now. Yeah. Yeah, I know he does, but he's not. He's not. I mean, come on. He's not. We all know that. Yeah, TBF out first is the absolute goal. It really is. A lot of like this stuff here is, like this is just I'm not showing off the TBF work. That's really like what I'm not posting it. I'm just really focusing on, look, there's so much, like, just speaking of like Dark Knight Returns, there's so much about how that was made. I have this one interview book, like it's a comics journal. They're big, right? I have a Roger Crumb one, Robert Crumb one. I have a Frank Miller one, and he kind of went in, like he talked about a little bit of the process for that, and I really wanted to bring Dark Hero like almost like back home, close to the chest, and get it done on layouts. And then once it's done on layouts, I'm going to do two things at the same time. I'm going to create almost like a private group, and I'm going to invite everyone in to read the full layout of TBF and then later Dark Hero, and incentivize people to give me feedback on it. Okay. Because I really want these, like, because I view the concepts as broad, like big ideas, and I really want these ideas to get communicated, and I need people reading it actively and giving me feedback on it. So there's, again, like a lot of this stuff is marketing more than the creative side, and the marketing and the production side are that slows down a lot of people. But once you learn it, right, you learn it one time, you can rinse and repeat. So that's a part of it. Okay. But yeah, I mean, look, TBF it's going to happen. Yeah, fuck, man. Like, dude, yeah, you got me. You know what? Yes, because I think that did you leave a comment there, Harry? I know someone left a comment, and I kept forgetting. Like, I was waiting, like, a couple of things, But yeah, I will do that. I will do that. I mean, but come on. Cartoonist K-Fab, what? Look at this. Look at this. No, just look how great I am. But no, but hey, let's just kind of compare, right? Because we do have different styles, right? We got Theo from earlier, Theo, and we got this guy. This guy needs a name, by the way. This guy needs a name. I mean, this is a part of a campaign too. Like, so these are going to double as like images within the book. They're not pages for the book, but this will be used within the design work for Dark Hero. But these are going to be like animated drawings that I'll do in like Photoshop After Effects. And the idea is like this is like the last moment of this guy. And I'm going to do like 3 of these, and that's a little bit of like what I'm calling Dark Hero Chapter 1 is all about. It's really about delivering the final moments to a lot of people. Yeah, call him Football Man. All right, well, for now we'll call him Football Man. Harry, you're front runner for naming this guy. But yeah, all right. So I don't know. Like I'm kind of hey, real quick though. I've been reading this. I know I can't follow him on Twitter anymore because he's really loony. But this is interesting. I'm like only a little bit into it. I've read like chunks of this, but I never really kind of read it through. A lot of good stuff though, just about writing in general. But yeah, so like this is how I wanted to open the stream too. I wanted to open. This is my 2020 Jacktober sketchbook that we have Big Barter here. I don't think I've showed off too much of this. Like I got up to day 10. Here's Ronan. Got the X-Men I have to finish up. But I try and do like a couple things. I try and like do these like floating heads that they'll say something like goofy. Okay, so we have Apocalypse here. Oh yeah, Cosmic Cube. Jeez, I completely forgot I even fucking drew this. But this is what I'm talking about. This is like the importance of like sketchbooks. Sketchbooks will take you out of your comfort zone endlessly. That's why I like sketchbook challenges. I just say like the hell with it. Go through the challenges. Speaking of Tom, Sicoli, but we got 2021 here, and I was like, well, let me just do both of them. And this is just practice work. But everyone, just be on the lookout. Newsletter too. There's just a lot. There's just a lot happening. But hey, thanks for hanging out. I love you. Love you both. Oh. Hey, hold up though. Punt's not a bad name for a character, actually. Punt is not bad. It's not bad. Yeah, but thank you. I appreciate it. Yeah, dude, Red Room is his best work. I think the style. You know what upset me too? The paper quality for Red Room. Yeah, I just felt like that needed to be on newsprint. It needed to be, like feel cheap. I think the people that sent him in books when they were like downloading them off of Patreon looked better. Oh, cool. Hold up here. We got James. Oh, okay. Not yet. Yes. But no. Look, the Uzi Susie. We spent a lot of time on Uzi Susie just to kind of get a paper quality that showed off more of the roughness, because I wanted the pencil lines and stuff to come through. So look, there's things actively happening. I'm aware of a lot of this stuff, but look, some of it is you have to draw. Like, you have to draw to get better, to maintain yourself. Drawing at the table sucks everything else. It's, creative guy problems. But everyone, guys, Harry, love you. James, love you. Thank you so much. Next week, Thursday, if you guys want to join me too, we have Turtle Soup Thursday. Right, that's where I can't grab any. But anyway, everyone, let me get going. Good night. Rock and roll. Well, hold up. Ah, jeez, man, it's so savage. Later, bud. Yeah, let's do some art. Yeah, I'll respond right now, dude.